Hello and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program Plane Reviews. Before we get started, a couple things to mention. This is the last bit where I'm using the old files I had on my recording drive, so if you sent anything in before February and it has not made it into one of these, then I have lost it. I'm sorry, and can you please let me know, preferably via email in all caps, shouting something like, "You frickin' idiot, you forgot my plane!" And yeah, then I can actually do it. This episode is going to be the last two planes that are from that kind of time period where they're in that, with the exception of Ian Roberts, who sent me in a full save file of things, which I'm gonna check out. It's replicas of various things, and I still need to make kind of a special episode for that. Anyhow, let's get started with the KSA paper spaceplane, as you might imagine, by K Space Academy. And this is a bad idea. I mean, you know, if it wasn't KSP where everything is a good idea, this is a terrible idea. But let's launch it anyhow, for no good reason other than it was there. Alright, here we are on the runway. I'm throttling up for no good reason, considering I have to get out and get in another seat. Alright, let's stick him in this seat. Oh, I'm too far away from it, of course. Of course I am. Alright, let's take a flying leap off the can. Oh, I messed up. Well, we're still on the craft, so good enough, I suppose. Getting on board, firing the thing off the back. Accidentally coughing to death slightly. Engaging engine, which is of course an ion engine. This is an ion craft. I can do wheelies. I can do wheelies with it. Look at that. Wheelies. Little bouncing wheelies. It's probably not a good idea to keep doing this. I will eventually kill myself. But at least I know I have the power, the SAS power to do that. And there we go, vertical takeoff in a VTOL from a runway. It's a terrible idea. I'm gonna do a stunt. Oh yeah, check it out. Except now I'm gonna land on that far too hard, and slide along the ground on the landing gear, while the two wings decide to fly off in opposite directions. That was pretty funny, actually, in my opinion. Let's try it again, however. Alright, this time we gotta do the flying leap properly. That went spectacularly. I like it. Alright, fire, undo the brakes so we can actually move. And now we repeat the whole process, this time at 4 times time warp. This is certainly stable and won't lead to us dying at all. Actually, it won't even, whoa, I was gonna say it won't even take off. Now it will. Alright, let's see. We've got plenty of xenon gas, but it is slowly leaking away. It wants to pitch up. That's probably more to do with time warp than to do with anything wrong with the craft in any way. Oop, up, let's bring it back under control just a little bit, and then we can time warp again. And this is more going to be about flying this in a stupid way than about actually getting into space with it, because I'm sure it's space capable. In fact, on the name of it, it is the paper space plane, so I imagine it could go to space, and that it is indeed made of paper. But really, I am far too impatient to actually sit through the process to get it into space. Like I said, not patient enough to actually try to fly it into orbit. Also, this is a wonderful demonstration of the beauty of KSP physics, aka lack of physics. Let's just go ahead and dive down now and race you to the ocean, because that's gonna go well for me. And, you know, now I'm already slowing down. That's the problem with this. It's ion powered. I can't really get any speed even when going straight down. I mean, look at this. We're gonna hit the water at a boring 130 meters per second. Or 137.0 precisely. Anyhow, let's go on to the next plane. Next up we have, oh my god. By heaven's tuna, the paper Boeing jet. Oh my god. That is great. Now, I have a note here in my notes. It says test in Ferrum Aerospace as well as stock. I'm not sure if that's because he told me to not put it in Ferrum Aerospace or if he actually told me to put it in Ferrum Aerospace. Because sometimes people tell me to do that and then I do it. Other times people tell me not to and then I do it. Other times no one says anything and I don't. So, let's see what it has here. Center of lift in front, not necessarily a good sign, but let's launch it anyhow. And after this massive launch, we will be switching over to the install that's on my SSD, and this is the last of the things that are on my recording drive. Other than, of course, there's an entire save by Ian Roberts, like I mentioned earlier. That's going to get its own thing at some point. But after this, we'll transition to the SSD, and I will fly it in Ferrum Aerospace, so we can have a look at it in there. Also, I didn't think about the center of mass in relation to the center of thrust very much. I probably should have, because that probably affects how it flies a lot. Oh my god, this thing, it's like super maneuverable, but it's like frickin' paper plane of a Boeing. Alright, let's try and fly normally now. And it has to pitch down a bit, quite a bit actually, in fact, to stay level, to stay at a particular orientation, because it is, of course, the center of lift in front of the center of mass, so it is inherently unstable. However, I think he's dialed that down some with the tail design, possibly? I'm not sure, I can't quite tell. It looks like the tail is angled slightly to deal with that, although it's kind of hard to tell. He's also got a lot of plates on the sides, which I can only assume are there as like a counterweight, but I'm sure they're massively increasing the part count, and that kind of sucks. But otherwise, it flies really well, which is hilarious, and since last time I crashed a thing into that, I think I have to try to crash this into that, except I did that way wrong, so I'm gonna have to do like another maneuver around to do that. If I can. We shall see. I don't know. This thing is, it's very maneuverable, but also very squirrely. Well, not squirrely. Actually, not squirrely at all. It's just, everything happens so fast. Also, my frame rate's a bit shit right now, which sucks. But, oh well. Let's do this. It's also paper, so it's kind of hard to aim. By that I mean it's like, no. I'm not gonna hit it at all. But that's okay, because we can collide into the runway. Yay. Actually, this thing turned so fast that we missed the runway. Oh, but we did take out a random little building there. So that's good. And I'd say see you in space, but I actually got to go test this thing in Ferrum Aerospace now. So, I'll be right back. And welcome back. It's actually another day for me. I actually had to stop recording for yesterday and finish it up today. We're back with Ferrum Aerospace, and let's launch this. Alright, here we are on the runway. Wibbly wobbling our way. I'm gonna go ahead and turn on the Ferrum display. Throttle up everything. And I think we're good. There's Bob Kerman. He's the survivor of something. I don't remember what. But he's the survivor of something. And we have Reynolds numbers, which I actually don't know what that is. I know it's a thing, because Scott Manley mentioned it, and so I see it there, but I don't know what significance it has at all. Probably should learn about that. So, our lift is mostly on the control surfaces, and on the back there, yeah, that makes sense. Our drag, mostly on little bits sticking out, and the rear tailplane, and the front as well. And stall, nothing stalling, not yet in any case. I'm going to leave the tint stall on, so that when we eventually break this somehow, we will get to see how, with the stall indication. Oh yeah, I forgot that Ferrum Aerospace, nerfs the engines quite massively. Oh! Well, that's a problem. That is a big problem. I don't think we're gonna take off anymore.
And yeah, it's just gonna go sideways and boom shakalaka boom. Let's give it one more go. Alright, major stalling, but that's just because we're not really moving. Alright, firing everything up, pulling up as hard as I can. The velocity vector doesn't quite know what to do because of the fact that it flexes a lot. Where's the core on this thing anyhow? I'm curious of that now. I believe the core is... The core part, I think, might be this, whatchamacallit, strut? Maybe, because of the way the velocity vector was bouncing around while we were loading up. I think the actual core part might be that. Also, this seems to be two of these glitched into each other. Either that or just the shadows. No, that's just shadows glitching out of it. Okay, I thought it was two of them stuck in each other because of the way it was glitching slightly, but that's actually not a Z fighting glitch. That's just shadows being a bit wrong. And it looks like it's about to do the same thing again, which is unfortunate because I'd rather actually get into the air with this and then see what happens from there. Oh, come on. Okay, we're still going. We still have a chance of, and now we don't. Well, on the bright side, we get some pretty damage effects and nice explosions. Thanks for watching. As always, see you in space.